Howdy, can you guys hear me okay? Welcome Loco Brands, Ozathoth, Alfie Beck 6. Welcome Small Layouts, Jodzia, Honorati Phillips, Cave Spider, Canadian Sasquatch, Paladino. Welcome Motorcycle Man. Welcome everyone. Welcome Sarf Nickarth. Glad to have you guys all here today. Welcome Montuos. Okay, let's get started today. Today, for a reference stream, we are going to be doing some work on our Castle Ravenloft chapel roof. I've got some started work on it here, but we're going to actually go ahead and do some mathematics before we start filming the episode. Now, I've got 16 blocks here, and I know that we want to go back underneath this roof. So if we're going to do an 16 in diameter circle that starts aligned with that this would be, actually I should put one of these blocks away. That would take us out to here on the dome, which I think is about right, actually. It should start around where that starts. And yeah, that's great. Okay, that's perfect. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to post some torches on here just so stuff doesn't spawn, not because we're particularly, you know, I don't know. That might be a little bit higher than it needs to begin as well, but honestly, there's kind of some weirdness here with the scale. Well, the torches are just temporary. We're going to delete this. Like, this is just to get the thing going. Okay, so it looks like my YouTube chat's not scrolling to the bottom. There it goes. Let's mute again so I can... Okay, we are back. Cool. So, at that point, we don't really need this walkway. Is that also the height we want to have this start at? Because in the book, the roof on the back wall here ascends a little bit like this. But not too far. And then it flattens out. And then we get to there. So, there's kind of a question of maybe I should do a broader circle on here than I had planned. Maybe I should do an 18 circle. Now, if I do an 18 circle, I need to move this browser window so I can actually see the 18 circle for one thing. That would help. Okay, so the 18 circle would go like 6, 2, 1, 1, 2, 6. Okay, or 3, 2. That would bring us out to here, which I think is a lot more it's a lot more similar to what the actual design was. Now, we want our foundation for this to be stone. So, let's go ahead and jump up here a little bit. Whoops. That is not how we jump anywhere. Okay, so we're going to have an 18 diameter circle that radiates outward from, let's say that this is about the middle. That's going to seem right in terms of our peaks here. Let's actually verify what the middle is. So we got 1, 3, 5, 7. So then this is 8 and 9. So 9 and 10 on an 18 are going to be the middle two, which does line up with there, which is about where we need it. Now, this circle is okay if it's a little off-center, so that's not a huge concern. Now, in terms of the height, we're going to have stonework. Oh, we're going to probably... Oh, we got stone bricks. We're going to have stonework that's actually going to be about like this. Let's go ahead and delete those 2 blocks. Okay, so... Probably the easiest thing to do here for this part is going to be just to come across here like so and add those. There we go. So, oops, don't want to come too far into these demi-circles. And once again, I apologize for all the end stone, because this is going to look ugly until we have it ready to go. So, let's see what we got going on here. We have demi-circle, we have... Oh, this demi-circle, actually, I might as well pull out the end stone from before we get started with the episode. I always forget how long this stuff takes to break. Okay. And then we might as well pull this... Oh, I was going to pull that end stone too, but unfortunately that did not go as well as I would have hoped. Okay. So, let's go ahead and try that. We don't really need too much of that. Like that, this pathway here is actually no longer necessary. So we're going to go ahead and pull that out. Hope everybody's doing well today. Just so you know, if this is your first time here, this is my lunch break stream. So I get to stream for about 45 minutes before I have to rush back to work. It is a good time. And I also switch in and out of what I call recording mode. When I turn off the face cam, I'm generally going to be ignoring the chat and recording for my YouTube channel, which you guys get to see behind the scenes of. So, face cam on, I'm probably be reading the chat and talking to you. Face cam off, not the same. Okay. So, let's build some stairs up to theirs. That's not really stairs, is it? Okay. Okay, so we can pull these extra blocks out and replace that torch as well. Okay, so if this was 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, and 10, let's go ahead and pull these out here. Okay, so that is going to be, so this is actually going to go 6 in on the, okay, so let's go ahead and actually do a quick intro to the recording from here with what we've got so far. Okay, so face cam off, start recording. Warm up, Unique New York. How now, brown cow? There are strange things done in the midnight sun by the men who moil for gold. Gotta get some high energy. Gotta be like, what? Don't need the sword. In fact, let's just turn that off. And let's stand on this. Howdy, y'all. Joe Hills here, recording as I always do in Nashville, Tennessee. Ravenloft Chapel, or the Castle of Castle Ravenloft Chapel. Let's start that again. Howdy y'all, Joe Hills here, recording as I always do in Nashville, Tennessee. Castle Ravenloft's chapel lies below us, in ruins, as it is wont to be. As you can tell, there's a little bit of floating end stone down there. That has to do with this structure. We're setting up some temporary structures as we go through here to establish our dome. I've got kind of these demi-domes and these pitched roofs that are going to meet in the center at a circular, like, cylinder with a dome on the top. The cylinder is going to be stone and have some windows in it. Kind of like if the One Ring was made of stone. It's about those proportions. If it also had windows in it instead of like creepy Osgog or Bataluk writing, you know, it would be the same thing. So anyway, I kind of set up this scaffold with the end stone. I'm going to use the end stone as kind of helper blocks as I come through here. Figure out exactly where things are supposed to go. Now, with an 18 diameter circle, we're going to have kind of 3 on either side of the plane of, or axis of symmetry, which in this case is in like amazingly thin, you know. What is it? Infinitely thin, yeah. So we go 3, 2, 1, and then we kind of come back, and it's 1, 2, and then 3, going this way. And now we have an entire quarter of this done from there to here. So, as you can tell, this is going to intersect this nicely. Should all come together well. Now, I haven't exactly worked out how some parts of this dome are going to interact exactly. Because, like, maybe under here, this part of the dome will get knocked out, and then, like, above it, where it goes above the hemisphere or demisphere or whatever, it'll come into play, or demidome. But anyway, we just got to get the core concept in place at the base level height. So 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2. Now, this is actually going to intersect the building by intention here. So we're going to come over to this one, and it's going to be 1, and then 2, and then 3, like this would be how it actually intersects. Now, we don't need to actually have these blocks here in real life because this thing is going to hit that and it's all going to be fine. But just for reference, it's kind of nice to include it. Let's go ahead, though, and break that real quick so we can actually use our scaffold, come around here, and work on the dome heading the other way. Time skip. Stop recording. Face cam back on. Thank you for the follow, Quadiman. Glad to have you. Okay, welcome also to Canis Gulch, and anybody else who has popped in over time while I was recording. Not really watching the chat too much. So we're going to come this way. Kind of the same thing, but I don't have to, like, count it out loud for you. I need to count it out loud for me, because unfortunately one of the joys of, you know, being human is that it's easy to make mistakes. So let's go ahead and make mistakes in a fun and productive way. So this dome now is going to come up this way. So then here we hit 3. Are we... That's bad, maybe. I think that I'm off by 1 when I look at... Oh, see, I went 3 to... Went too far. That's it. Okay. See, this is why we have those sanity check torches there, so that we can make sure we didn't accidentally do something insane, like counting correctly. Alrighty, bye, Alfie Beck. Okay, small layouts, what's the question that you're asking? You want to make your own version of a D&D map, but you don't think you can do something as big as Ravenloft. Can I think of any maps that would be smaller than that you could try and model? My recommendation on that, I started off doing Death House by Chris Perkins, which is in an appendix of the Curse of Strahd book, which is the 5th edition retelling of the Ravenloft setting. That was a good kind of introduction to some of the issues that I was going to run into with this castle. And so if you wanted to look for one-off or one-shot adventures, that would you'd probably be able to find something smaller. There are a few things in Tales from the Yawning Portal that are a little bit smaller, but I mean, honestly, if you're going to build a map like this, experimentally, I would recommend trying it in creative mode first on Minecraft, and just, you know, pick one that inspires you. Like, this map is great because it's so three-dimensional, and that's the reason I selected it. I mean, honestly, anything in Tales from the Yawning Portal, if you have to do a 5th edition map, would be good. One of the reasons I also picked this map was because there's a 1983 version of it and a 2015 or so version of it. So if I was looking for a little bit of... I kind of had more source material to draw from, you know. I could compare between the two books because there might be some details that have changed, and I might go, huh, that was an interesting choice. Anytime I see something that looks like an interesting choice, whoops, I almost always double-check the old i6 module and see if it's different, because some of the things I'm like, oh, Perkins must have came up with that. He's so smart. But other things I'm like, no, wow, Perkins must have come up with that, and then it actually was like, nope, Tracy and Laura Hickman had this figured out 25 years ago, practically, you know? And if you want to do game development, like, one of the big reasons I'm doing this is because I want to make my own maps better. Like, when I've run Pitfalls and Penguins campaigns and just come up with my own maps, they have been good enough. I mean, my friends had fun playing them, but there is a certain something that expertise grants a map maker that I do not yet have. And I say a certain something. This is probably a combination of like 100 different factors of what makes a map good and what makes a map bad. Or maybe not bad, but like uninspired or uninteresting. And so what I want to do is I want to break down what makes this map feel so inspired, and then try to apply those lessons to other things. Like, making maps is not an easy thing. Like, you know, in some ways, in some ways it's harder than, well, you know what, I can't, I don't know, I don't want to speak out of turn, but yeah, making maps is not the easiest part of D&D, is just what I'll say. So let's go ahead here and get this, we'll build this up like a stairwell here in the short term. Later on, we'll come in and change this a little bit. I'm not sure I love how much this is actually cutting into the dome fully now, which was not my intent. So maybe going with a 16 for this dome is going to lose some of the architectural elements that made the original great. Now, I could route around this some by making the dome slightly higher or steeper in slope, and that might be what I end up having to do, is I'll keep this, yeah, I might have to keep this 2 elevation change again in order to, well, wait, what am I thinking? I'm just randomly laying blocks. I can do what I want. Oh, wait, no, it does cut, it cuts out pretty far. Oh, okay. So I guess there is a question too, like in the original, the stone ring should go higher than this peak here. So if this is the apex, let's find out exactly where the apex of this peak is. I'm thinking that this might end up having to be half slabs in order to make this work, but yeah. So this actually should run into the ring pretty hard and get cut off. Let's see. Okay, yes, that's gonna... So, in fairness here, the dome is actually gonna pop up above this. Like, this is gonna be where the roof gets interrupted. Which is about right if you look at the illustrations in the original book. So, you know, it's important to just kind of play things by ear to some degree. So then this one is going to go there. Okay. Make sure we don't run out of stone bricks while we're doing this. Now, some of these are going to end up hewn out for windows anyway, but it's good to kind of keep in mind. Okay, so I'm wondering, maybe I don't have this circle out far enough. I think I've made this tower here, even though I kept to the map, just aesthetically based on the sketches of the castle, it looks like it's in too far, which is problematic, but well, this is going to be okay, I think. Yeah, the core concept of this roof is maintained. So, yeah, I'm not too upset about it. Although it is supposed to kind of hit there. Well, let's see. I guess it would still kind of hit there on this piece. Maybe I should make it steeper. I know I'll keep going back and forth about the height or the steepness of this, but yeah. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, that's pretty okay. So these stairs we can now remove because we know that they're going to be inside the ring. And I suspect these ones as well. Yeah, okay. So we'll go down there in a minute to retrieve some of the stuff we lost. Okay. Okay, so thinking about this, we have... So in the original, there should be a block like right here. Whoops. Well, Not right there, but right here. And then there should be windows on either side that are small and circular. And small and circular is hard to do in Minecraft, but maybe they're about 1 meter wide. So I kind of feel like just having them in here like this with the black glass is probably going to be good enough. Oh, but this is where the asymmetry comes into play here. Okay, so maybe we need to actually have that be like this, and then have the stained glass there. Okay. And then we'd come in this way and have... How far apart should these be? These should be further apart than that. Have this one be black stained glass too. Now this will look a lot better during the day. The point of using the dark glass for the windows is to keep them from looking too cheerful from the inside. So, thank you, the Batman. I work hard on it. Yeah, I'm working on the roof of the chapel now, guys. So, it is difficult. But let's go ahead down there and grab some of the materials we've dropped before it despawns, because no sense letting all that go to waste. Okay, so from inside here, we're going to go ahead and end up probably culling out a lot of that lower ring there. There's just one segment of the ring that really has to go down that low, but then the parts with the roof and whatnot won't. And we can probably build a scaffold to head over there now. Man, I am running low on food. So maybe we will make a quick flight to grab more in a second as well. Yeah, it's the beginning of the night, so it's... Okay, so... Let's go ahead and scaffold out here. And we can get rid of some of these blocks here as well. Let's add some more scaffolding just for good measure. Okay, so the actual circle now won't show up until you actually hit the roof line. I figure. So that one needs to be there. Anything that's outward facing stays, but anything inward facing goes. Is that one going to stay? Yeah, that one has to. Whoops, that one's staying. And that one's staying. Whoops, nope, not at all. So that actually needs an additional stair block there. So... Okay, we'll figure that out in a minute. Oh, and once those stair blocks are in, though, they won't need them. So, how do we hop over there real quick? Thank you for the follow, few antelope. Okay, so we're going to hop down here, and we are going to apply a single scaffold block here, like so. Destroy it. Place this. Place this. And I think now we're in much better shape. Okay, great. Once again, still not sure I love how this demi-dome came out. But, okay. So, let's see then. So when we come around to here, if this really is the height we're making this at, this is way higher than it should be, I think. I feel like this is... The biggest problem with this room is in the inside of the book, in both books, in both I6 and the Curse of Strahd. The ceiling in the chapel is, if the players look up, they will not be able to see the ceiling without additional torches. it doesn't describe the dome or how the roof looks or anything. It's just like, they can't see it, so don't worry about it. And it's like, oh, this is all I can worry about. Okay, so here's what I figure we're going to do. We're going to go and grab some food so that we don't starve to death in the process of making this. Oh, hey, this maze thing is new. That looks awesome, but anyway, let's just grab some cows. Okay, how much room do we have? Not enough. Well, okay, great. And away we go. Whoa, what is this tower? This is new. Whoa. Whatever it is, it's crazy. Also, that's crazy. How's that there? So if we fly in over the Zerpool encampment here, get a nice little shot of Castle Ravenloft. High Tower, North Tower, South Tower. Still need to put our chimney in. Bell Tower needs a roof revision. Outer wall needs to be lowered by 2 blocks, but on the whole, it's coming together. I should probably have some torches on this also, just for a safety standpoint. That's clearly a problem if snow can spawn on there. Okay. Yeah, I'm looking at this illustration, and they took a lot of liberty with the actual physics of how this building would work. This back chapel roof is definitely a visually interesting element of the piece, but how it corresponds to the actual maps is definitely less well-reasoned, I would say. I've only found a few actual places where the architecture doesn't really work between different maps, like different floors usually line up pretty well, but there's a few stairwells that throw me off, and then this roof. This is one of the reasons I've been holding off on doing this particular part of this for so long, because I knew it would be like a whole thing. Okay, so I almost feel like if I know I'm not going to use the stone here, or if I am, it's going to go like this. Whoa. Dang it. Back up we go. So let's continue up this way. Okay. So, temporary scaffold now needs temporary stairs. That's easy. Okay, so if we're going 3... Dang it. Why is so much of this so difficult? Okay, so 3, 2, and then 1. This actually works okay, doesn't it? Okay. So then we'll pull that copper piece there, and then it's going to go another one over here. Oh, wait, no, I did that wrong. Oh, it does totally wrap around it. Yeah. So 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, and then like that. That's where we run into trouble with this dome. Which, I mean, it still kind of looks the way it's supposed to, but the steepness is not really what I think we should be going for. So we'll make the dome steeper and the whole thing will look better. Okay. So, oh, yeah, that's about right. Never mind. I was thinking I messed something else up. Okay. You know, also, I'm looking at these, and I'm thinking that these windows are less common than that. Although, there's definitely one over on this side. I think it should be... I think these should both be closer to the outsides. So, We're going to come out here, put these more like 3 blocks apart. And then 1, 2, and then it'd be like here that the window would be. At least. Yeah. So that's 2, and then 2, then 2. This kind of works. They should really be on either side of the top of the dome, so I'm actually thinking I might go 3 for this one. And then have 1, 2, 3, 4. And then boom. Okay. Yeah, that seems reasonable. Of course, we are running out of blocks imminently once more. Because nothing is ever simple. Okay. Making good time, though. It is... Oh, no, we're not. It's 12:48. My goodness. Okay. Why would I think we were making good time? Probably because I was having so much fun I wasn't keeping track of the amount of time that passed. This episode might end up having to take 2 days, because... Oh, wait, no, I can record tonight because my wife is getting my kid from daycare. So I'll record a little bit. So normally I only get to record during my lunch break, but today I don't have to get my kid, so I have extra time. Okay, cool. Let's run down and grab a little bit of extra material, and then we'll record for another few minutes, just to kind of show, like, okay, so we've made the ring taller, and we're ready to start the dome, that sort of thing. Okay. Here's our dining room. Still needs a ceiling. Still needs a marble for the walls. But all the pieces of this are coming together bit by bit. That's just really enjoyable for me. Like, I've been working on this since May, and people are like, no way you built that yourself. And it's like, well, you spend an hour a day on something, or 45 minutes a day on something, for long enough, and it's amazing what you can get done. And I think having the time to spend on this has been really valuable, too, from an educational standpoint. Like, in terms of, like, learning how the map functions, or what makes it work so well, you know? Like, having such an opportunity over time is really great. So, through here. Okay. Once again, I'm going to have to make all these windows taller, but I just haven't had the time yet. And I need to make these doorways more archy, I don't know. Why is this doorway is extra weird? I don't like that. Let's fix that. What? That's not a floor. That's like a false room. Okay, we don't even need that. Oh, I actually probably do need those torches up there so stuff doesn't spawn, though. Okay. Yeah, that makes that space look a lot better already. Okay. Face cam off. Start recording. We are back here amongst the broken benches and pews, and as you can tell, I've gone in and I've actually made these archways here a little bit more archy. You know, I've been inspired by that Riverdale series, and I thought, you know what? Let's go all out. Let's arch it up. Now, on this side, I'm not sure exactly how much I want to do in terms of lowering the ceiling or whatnot. But, like, stairs, you want to have a sense of progression downward, but you don't want it to, like, feel oppressive. So having something like that, where we've got, like, these 3 sequential arches, keeps the motion it feels like you're going up through an arched thing without getting too crazy, you know? We don't have to crazy it up all the time. We can be sane. We can be regular people making Minecraft castles for vampires, you know? That's just us doing our thing. So, anyway, since I've gone ahead and worked on this a little bit, I can remove some of this extra stone that won't be necessary. We want to obviously have the parts of the stone ring that'll be visible from outside the roof, but these lower pieces, like right here inside this demi-dome, we will not need those. At least not at that, like, elevation. We'll need them higher up. I'm also realizing, let's just come over here, though, and clean that up for a second. As we make these demi-domes a little bit taller, whoops, actually, so this right here should still be stone, unfortunately. But as we make these demi-domes meet the stone ring, I'm realizing that maybe the demi-domes should be a little bit steeper. They should be closer to hitting the peak that this roof hits. Let's go ahead and hop up here a little bit so we can showcase this. let's see. So we've got some windows, as you can tell, worked into the ring every 2 or 3 blocks or so. But we don't obviously want the windows to be occluded by the dome or this roof here. But I am realizing that like this doesn't feel enough like a demi-dome with the current steepness. So yeah, we'll definitely play with that variable as we go. I feel like the safest thing to do is going to be to add an additional layer here that's too high. So like if we make this element here higher by 1, so then that one's too high, and then this interior element is now 1 high. Like that feels a little nicer, I think, while still preserving the idea that the dome comes in slightly lower than the peaked roof. So we have the feel of the original castle going on there. We'll also want the sides of the dome to cover that wall there. So looks good so far. Let's go ahead and run back around this way, or maybe ender pearl across. There we go. And let's see. We obviously still have some work to do on this. Now, if I build this whole dome in at this level, though, I know that I'm going to run into this roof. So what I realistically want to do is figure out how to mirror the elevations of the dome ring or whatever across there and work that in accordingly. But you know what? For right now, let's go ahead and see. Can we get... Ugh, that's not a good place for that block. You're interrupting my scaffold. It's like, let's say you had a scaffold and then right in the middle of it somebody placed a stone block. You know, you'd be pretty upset. That's about how I feel right now. This lesson in empathy has been brought to you by poor block placement, a Joe Hill's regular thing that happens all the time. So anyway, we've got one more row of stone above those windows before we begin the copper dome. Now for the copper dome, I figure what I'm going to do is bring this whole thing in by 1. So this circle will just be a little bit tighter than this. And, ooh, and that's how you fall down. And this is, dang it, I was going to say this is how you get back up again. But then I realized that there's no way to get back up again. So I created one. I will not be bound by what the universe demands. You know, you want to tell me, hey, Joe Hills, you're stuck doing your own thing. And I'm like, my own thing is awesome and I will soar. So anyway, I'm just soaring over here. Let's see. What do we want to do then? Yeah, more blocks, I guess. So this part of the dome should be relatively shallow. It's more like a... Like, it's definitely domey, but it's not spherical. It's like you sliced the top off a sphere. And so we want to respond accordingly by having this come up and in. Actually, probably further than this, now that I'm thinking about it. We probably want to have this come in 3 blocks or so in all directions before... Well, maybe not, because we've got to have some windows in the dome, too. So maybe if we have the dome come in 2 blocks in all directions, that'll feel right. Okay, so dome comes in 2 blocks in all directions from the outside here. So that'd be like 2 blocks here. Boom. This is great. Okay, and then does this feel like 2 blocks? It's kind of weird on these diagonals. I think I'd almost rather err on the side of like extra blocks in cases like that. Yeah, that feels better. So, anyway, we're going to have the dome meet this piece here at some height, which, honestly, in the original, this roof here met that tower a lot lower, but, I don't know, it's weird. So, whatever. Let's just go ahead and try some more dome pieces. You know, if we can get this dome fundamentally working right now, I'll be thrilled. Like, that would be an achievement for this episode. So we'll have the dome ascend at the same slope where we're going into for every one we go up. So into, and then like this. Yeah, this feels right. Okay. Now, one interesting thing about the dome at this level is that it should theoretically have a bunch of windows in it as well. And, like, I mean a whole bunch of windows. But I'm not sure how those would work, because they'd basically be kind of like skylights in Minecraft, unless they were partially covered. So, I'm kind of not sure exactly how I want to approach those, but we can come back to that in a little bit. Yeah, so then if we just had like one circle on the top here, although this might be too big a circle, maybe we should go up a little bit more, because even though this seems kind of shallow in the original illustration, like, this is still like a massive structure, and so at this scale it's going to look shallow. So we came in 2, 2, then we're going to come in 2 here. Yeah, this opens us up to have like a nice, so there's the center. So then we could have a circular piece kind of coming up like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then, yeah, would that be centered there? Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess, oh, the way you'd probably end up doing this would be to have it like, whoops, that's too many blocks out. Yeah, there we go. So 4, is that going to be off center that way? Okay, well, this doesn't intersect the highest part of the dome, so that's actually not wrong. But I think I'd probably end up bringing this out a little further this way. So it'd be closer to like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. So this would actually be the top level of the dome here. And yeah, that would kind of work. So bring this over. And we probably would just fill in this top part here like so. We wouldn't actually continue to elevate it because we're trying to show a slope change. So core concept, we have a partial dome installed. We have roofs on this side, a demi-dome over here, and we're ready to do the same thing mirrored across the axis of symmetry that way. Time skip. I was just saying, hello Gub Gub, hello Joel Johnson, hello Steve Emoji. Thank you for the follow, Black Swag Random 10 and Shmoni Life. Thank you, Ozathoth and Super, for saying that you can't hear me. I'm glad to have that fixed. I was just going to say, my lunch break is coming to a close, so thank you to everybody who has joined us so far today. I'm hopefully going to be recording a little bit more this evening, sometime after 5 p.m. Don't know the exact schedule on that yet. But follow me at twitter.com/JoeHills for details when I do find out. And you can also find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/JoeHills, YouTube at youtube.com/JoeHillsTSD, and Mixer at mixer.com/Joe. It seems like the longer I keep doing video stuff, the better the username I get. So mixer.com/Joe, best username. Shortest account, like frequency? No, length, duration. Anyway, I gotta get back to work because I like having a job. Bye, everybody. Keep adventuring.